Of course, it is not a historic day just because we're getting the vaccine out there, but also electors in Washington will cast their official votes. And for that, I do want to get to Kayla Tausche. Kayla.
Well, David, the electors are meeting across the country. They just started about an hour ago. This is the day when they will gather at state capitals in each state to formally cast their votes for president and vice president. It's normally an unremarkable and fairly ordinary day that's just a formality, but there's been a lot of focus on this day because of the questions that the administration has raised about the outcome of the election. I want to show you some of these pictures from around the country, starting with New Hampshire, where electors are meeting to cast their 4 electoral votes for president and vice president. Tennessee, Vermont, Indiana, a handful of states around the country have already begun this meeting at this hour. There are 538 electors in all. Each state gets essentially the same number of electors as they do members of Congress. 306 are expected to vote for Joe Biden. They're expected to vote for the candidate that the state's voters selected, but only 199 are bound by law to do that. And of course, as we know, President Trump has been pushing to get swing states with GOP leaders to back him instead. But that effort is not expected to yield different results. In Georgia, the votes were counted 3 times, each time affirmed the victory for Biden, even if by just 0.25%. In Arizona, electors are required to vote for Biden. The state passed a law after protests followed the 2016 election, urging electors to defect for Hillary Clinton then. In 2016, 10 electors defected in all. That was the most in a single instance in history. SCOTUS blog writes that a total of roughly 35 electors have been so-called faithless with their respect to obligation to vote for a living presidential candidate. That is fewer across all of American history than would have to be faithless to deprive Biden of his Electoral College victory. So certainly this is expected to solidify the vote for the incoming Biden-Harris administration. President Trump said on Thanksgiving that if the Electoral College did select Joe Biden, that he would leave office, though he said that the Electoral College would have made a mistake. But just this morning, senior advisor at the White House, Stephen Miller, appearing in a campaign capacity, said they plan to keep fighting until January 20th.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.